Okay, hello. My name is Taylor Ginter. It is May 12th at around 5:30, and we are interviewing Hong Xian or Mrs. Margaret Chong.
This is Xingyi. This is Xingyi Li.
And we're with the Houston Asian American Archives for Rice University. So first of all, what name do you go by most? Do you use Hong
Well,
Xian?
at home, I do use my Chinese name, and also my old Chinese friends and the friends know I'm an artist. They will call me Hong Xian. But otherwise, Margaret is easier for them to say.
Okay. So when and where were you born? And can you talk about what your childhood was like?
Yeah, I was born in Yangzhou, Jiangsu province, where is my hometown. And I have 3 sisters. They are all older than I am. Then I have 2 brothers. They are younger than I am. So when I was 4 years old, we had to move to Sichuan province because that's the war started with Japanese.
So
And-
which part in Sichuan? Which part in Sichuan?
First we were in Chongqing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in Chongqing. And from Chongqing, because it was bombing all the time, and my father was working for the government, and every day he just he has to help people to get a safe place, because he works in the social.
Interior department.
No. That time wasn't the Interior Department. 社会部.
So like social.
Social. Yeah.
Social.
Yeah. So,
Social.
So were you affected by the war? Besides having to move, did it affect your everyday life?
That time I was too young. It didn't affect me at all. So we moved to Guizhou. Guizhou, it's much safe place. And my 3 sisters, they can go to school. But myself and my 2 brothers, we were too young. We just stay at home. And after a year, we moved back to Chongqing. To Chongqing. From Chongqing, we moved to the suburban area, which is called Xiaolongkan.
Oh.
All the school were there. The university, the high school, and the middle school, all there. Yeah, so we can go to school. So from there, until the war finished in 1945, we go back to Nanking because where my father works for the government. So we stayed in Nanking for 3 years. That time I remember very well because I was already from 13 to 15. And I really liked Nanking, lots of places that we can go to visit. From there, then the communists took over China. We moved to Taiwan, the island. And I was there for 10 years. Studied in the high school and also finished in the college, in the art department. The the university is called that time is called Teachers College.
Okay.
I think the English name is something.
like National Taiwan
Taiwan Normal University.
University.
National Taiwan Normal University.
So were you studying to be a teacher or just studying art?
Just study for art. Yeah, but you it also trained as a teacher, art teacher. Yes.
Were you studying painting at this time?
Yes. In the school, we study both Chinese painting and Western painting too. So both are equally hours to study.
Okay.
But for Chinese painting, I also study private lesson with my master. His name is Pu. The last name is Pu. Pu. And I studied. I go his studio to study with the traditional Chinese painting. But in school there are many other Chinese teachers to teach brush painting. So I learned more from my private teacher because he has more to offer. But for oil painting and watercolor painting, I also learned a lot. Yes, besides it, we also study some other courses.
What interested you in painting?
Oh, since I was a young girl, I always liked to draw, and I always liked landscapes. So that made me to like art all the time.
So, were your parents influencing you that you like painting from your childhood?
Well, they didn't directly to influence me anything, but my father writes very good Chinese calligraphy, and very often people come to ask him for a piece of writing, to hanging on the wall. So that my father always do it for them, and when he do the writing of calligraphy, because every time you have to ground lots of ink, he will let me help him to do that. Also help him when he sit there to write. I will stand on the other side and holding the sheet, the paper for him. But of course, if it's a long hanging scroll with big character, he will standing up to do it, and then I will just continue to pull the paper for him. Yeah, that somehow for 6 children he always asks me to do it. Yes, I guess he can tell who is more interested of Chinese culture.
Are any of your siblings artists? Are any of your siblings
Oh
artists?
yeah. My mother's grandfather, he was a professional artist. Yeah, he paints Chinese tradition painting. So at home, where Yangzhou is, and he will make living by artist. as an artist.
Okay. What's his name?
His name is Li Yanmei.
Oh, okay. I think
Yeah.
I know that artist. I think I know that artist. He is pretty famous. He was like really famous during Qing Dynasty. as an
Late, must
artist.
be very late Qing.
Yeah,
I never saw his painting myself. Yeah, but if we didn't move to Taiwan, probably have chance to find his work. But too bad I didn't see anything of his work.
How would you describe your painting style?
Well, at the beginning, I learned Chinese tradition painting because in the old time, as a student, you just do what the teacher does, and you follow his style. So everybody just follow their teacher's style. But when I was at Normal University that time, one of the art teacher, he taught Western style. So he tell us, he said, no matter how good you are, how good you can copy the old masters, but you're still not yourself. So I remembered it, and I always think, how can I get the painting that is from myself? But at that time you cannot get away from the form because it's all set. My Chinese private teacher, he didn't tell me anything too because he is very old-fashioned person. So until I came to this country, first thing when I got much more chance to see, to visit the museum and to see good shows and study all different Western artists. And from there, I understand what is individual style. So I said, I'm going to start to try. And I just struggle by struggle. And it is very, very hard at the beginning. You cannot get away from the old form until until one day I just suddenly developed much further, and then I see myself. So I know that's how to do the next step. Then I just have no problem. But just in between that period, it's pretty hard. Yeah, you have to get through to know how to get away from it. And then I just try to think what to do with the brush and the ink. One thing I'm pretty sure that between oil paintings and the Chinese painting, I do love Chinese painting so much. It is because the brush. The brush, I found out really I can express myself much more than limited by the oil. You see, the oil brush it's it's much stiff. But the Chinese brush, oh, you can just hold it, do anything you want. so I'm even paint different style. I'm still so happy. I learned it. But that time, many young Chinese artists, they all want to study Western painting. So they don't really want to learn brush work anymore. Yeah, that's really shame to give up. But I kept it. I still using it, and very, very few Chinese artists today, they use brush. You know what do they do? Even paint on the rice paper with ink, but they use brush or even roller, because they think these are much new tools. And the brush is old. Yeah, you should throw it away.
So they don't use the brush.
Yeah, yeah. Even use the spray.
Oh.
Yeah, that's something new and quick. Yeah, but I'm still stroke by stroke. Later I do not grinding the ink anymore, because take too much time, and I paint large paintings. If small painting, it's all right, but when you grind the ink, the ink stick itself, if it's a good piece, it smells good, and the color is good, even black, but good black color. Yeah, that's very important. And nowadays everybody use the bottle ink.
Was it hard to find ink to grind here in America?
Well, in the Chinese store, you can get the ink stick, but not good quality. If real good quality, it's expensive. It's made in the old time. You buy it as a piece of antique.
So do you have the collection of grind ink?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, then you do that. Actually, it's good for you. Give you time to warm up yourself, to think what to do, and get yourself. It's like meditation, to be quiet.
So your husband was saying you've been in this apartment for about 30 years?
Yeah.
Do you paint in this apartment? Is this your studio?
Yes, I did some paintings in this studio. Yeah. but we used to have a house in Evanston, Illinois.
Yeah.
And we on the second floor, we always take the big room as my studio. Now we take the living room and the dining room.
How did your work end up in the Smithsonian?
You cannot. That's something. I even didn't know anything about it. Just suddenly I got the letter from them to tell me, send us 10 slides. We would like to select your painting from it. Just select one painting. So that, of course, I was really happy about it. I sent them 10 slides. Then they limited maybe a few said just sent the original painting to us. After we sent all original paintings to them, then they said that we are going to choose one. The curator liked it. Usually, unless the museum, they have the budget for buying paintings. Also, for budget to buy certain paintings. Every art museum are different, but for Smithsonian, they don't. Very few times they buy paintings. Mostly just for people donated. Yeah. So after they decide which painting they want, and then they tell me that we need someone to buy it. And that time, one person, she works there. Also, she knows my work, so she willing to buy it for them. So she paid that painting because the artist cannot give painting to them. If you want to get to the museum, it's not allowed.
Oh.
Yeah. And then I got another letter. Said, now we have the meeting. The director, he likes another painting. but they already bought the first one. Yeah. The director liked the one is bigger with two sheets put together. It's just like the one in the living room. Let me see. Oh yeah, so they said I have to find someone to buy it. Well, at that time I taught at Yung Center. So that the next morning I went to Yung Center to teach. One of the board member, she knows me. She said, Margaret, what's new? Yeah, I said, yeah. Well, I told her the story. She just said right away, I buy it. She said, I buy it. Yeah, even didn't look the painting. The painting already sent to there, but she trusts that's a good place. So she said, oh, that's okay. I'll buy it. Oh, so simple. I didn't do anything.
So are the paintings still there?
Huh?
Are the paintings still there?
Oh yes, it's their collection.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Then people bought it for them, and then they keep it for their collection. I heard that every 5 years they will exhibit the piece they collected. The reason is, of course, the first thing, if every painting all put on the wall, they don't have that much space. Yeah. Another thing is good for the painting. If the painting is on the wall all the time for a disposal, 日光晒它们. Yeah, it's not good for the painting. Yeah. Usually, some places when they exhibit the antique paintings, every 5 minutes, the light will
Goes off.
turn off for just like the eye open and close, open close. Yeah, just try to save the painting.
You're the only first living artist. You tell them that.
Oh yeah, so I was the first living artist they selected.
Wow.
Yeah, because usually museum they don't buy the living artist's work until you died.
Right.
Yeah, then they be sure you are all right. But they changed the policy, so I was the first one. they selected. Yeah.
That's cool. Are you still painting today?
Today I still paint, but I don't do. I do it very slowly, not productive as before when I was 40 and 50.
What is your
30, yeah, 30, 40, 50, yeah.
what is your like creative process as you paint? So you said like grinding the stones is some sort of meditation. Like what else do you do to get ready to paint?
Well, yeah, the only thing is have to be quiet. Yeah, no one bother me. Cannot have anything bother me, either outside or inside of my mind. Yeah, then I will gradually get into the mood. Then I started. So when I started, I will just follow what I started. That's different as a Western painting. When you paint an oil, right now I'm talking about the realistic style. You do sketch on it. If you paint a portrait, you get the outline of it. Then you put a color on it. But for Chinese painting, we don't do the sketch directly on the paper, so it's just a white sheet. A white sheet. Usually, even a white sheet. This is my own experience. I still look at it. I still look at it. Actually, all the stuff is in my mind, but almost I can see it on the paper. And just one stroke by one stroke, a dot after a dot. It's in China. There's one word that's just number one. That one, yi, yi. So very simple, very yi. So that's how you started. From there, it's all by yourself. So how do you develop on the sheet? That's even myself. I feel very amazing, because one of the poet from Taiwan, once the Rice University invited him to come here to give a lesson and talk. Because I know him before. That's Yu Guangzong.
Oh.
Yu Guangzong. Yeah, he came here. He asked me a question, very, very interesting. He said, where do you, after you finish the painting, where you started it, and where is the ending of the painting? Yeah, I said, well, it is different as musician. For a music piece, you have to start somewhere, then end somewhere. But for the painting, after you finish it, you cannot tell. I cannot tell you where I started it. That's very interesting between music and artwork. Yeah, and so I just from one stroke, and with the ink, then get more and more built up. It's interesting, almost like the children to play those wood pieces. You just try to build it.
Yeah.
Finally, you see something. Yeah, but of course you have to know to know many things. It's not a real rule, because you can always create your own rule. Yeah, and that's that there's no certain thing is a rule. So for me, it's very free to paint.
So, do you have a picture of what are you going to paint like beforehand, before you started? Do you have a picture in your mind?
No, not really.
Oh, okay.
Not really. I may think of certain kind of mood.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or some landscape I saw. I just really like it, but even I don't have sketch. I can remember it. But you cannot directly to use it. It's no use. But all these things they help me. Yeah, they do help me. And when I see a mountain, maybe I see something different than other people see it. Yeah, that is what I want to catch from there. Catch different things. Some of the lights or the color, the shape, and but when I started my own painting, all the shapes I made it. It's not directly from the nature, but of course you just see the things from nature. Some people they saw some of my paintings. They always say, I found something there. It look like an animal's head or like the animal's body. Yeah, it happens that way. Just many things that I liked. I may catch it from my eye. Maybe they get into my mind. Yeah.
So shifting gears a little bit, when did you first come to the U.S.? Did you move directly to Chicago or Evanston?
When I came to Chicago from Taiwan, I stayed there for 10 years. Yeah, because of course we got married first and stayed in Evanston, very nice place near Northwestern University. And after 10 years, I went to Hong Kong. Mm. The Chinese university, they invite me to go there to teach Chinese painting. Yeah, and the interesting thing was somehow I heard some artists there, they say, why not to have us? Because I came from United States. And they really want someone to teach Chinese brush painting. Oh. Yeah, but of course my method of teaching very different from they teach there.
We were in Evanston about 20 years instead of 10 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We went Northwestern first, and then
okay, 60s and 70s, right?
Yeah.
So, yes, 60s and 70s. Mm-hmm. I went there. I went Hong Kong at end of 70.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Then in Hong Kong I stayed for 4 years. And then moved here.
To Houston.
Mm-hmm.
How did you meet your husband?
I met him when we were young. Yes, both of our family, the fathers, they know each other very well. And, in China, sometimes the parents were if they are good friends, they are thinking, well, if you have a son, I have a daughter, that will be very nice. Yeah, that's happened happened that way. So his when he was 10 years old, his father brought him to our house and introduced him to my father.
How old were you then? How old were you?
Let's see, I was 7 years old.
Wow.
So that's the first time that you met him.
Yes. I didn't talk to him.
So did you stay in touch while you were growing up, or how did you end up?
Well, we didn't really think in touch of each other, but we always move to the same place. So still we can see each other. Yeah, like in Nanking. Yes, in Nanking, we have chance to see each other, and in Taiwan we also have a chance to see each other until he left Taiwan, because he came here first. Yeah.
So did you purposefully go to like Taiwan together, or it was coincidental?
That's just, at that time we were teenage.
Okay.
Yeah. So we just go with our family.
Oh, so your family is independently decided.
Yes.
Okay. So what brought you to Houston when you finally came here?
After I finished school in Hong Kong, my husband also worked there as an architect in one of the architecture firm. So after there, one of his friend from Hong Kong, he came here. He moved to Houston. They also had a big firm. So he asked TC, would you like to move here and also work in the firm as an architect? They were looking for an architect. That's how we came here.
Okay.
Yeah, also interesting, the Hong Kong was given back to China.
Oh, yeah.
The doomsday.
Oh.
So-
Yeah,
in
everybody lost their
97?
lease.
Oh.
Yeah, so the Hong Kong people organized and shifted some assets to this country. So they bought the company here. Yeah, just in case if communists play rough and they have a back door to run. So that company do real estate and do parking.
Oh.
Yeah, and they have 90 cities in this country.
90?
90.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
Yeah,
so
you
I
know,
was
in
the-
Hong Kong, the place is so small,
Yeah.
you hardly to find the parking space.
Oh.
When they heard, here you can park anywhere.
They park something like 60, 70 million cars a year.
And did you purposefully want to live in the museum district?
I would like to choose this place. Well, we did looking for a while. First, because he always wear tennis clothes, and the realtor said saw him, said, "Oh, I can find you a apartment. They have a tennis court." And then I looked at this park, and the museum is next to it. Oh, I said, that's fine. You cannot find better place.
And also, it's what they call foresight. You see, I had a heart attack 16 years ago. Yeah. Yeah, in the 5 minutes I was at the hospital.
Oh, right.
Oh.
So it didn't do much damage. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, that was important.
So how have you seen Houston change throughout the years?
Oh, yes. It really changed a lot. First, when we moved here, I wasn't happy at all, and the museum was very small. And that time, you don't have to buy ticket to go in.
Is this the Museum of Fine Arts?
Yeah.
Okay.
But because everywhere you go, especially New York, it's expensive.
Right.
Now they cost $40 to go to the modern art museum for one time.
Yeah.
Yeah, here that time you don't have to pay or just a couple of dollars, something like that. And not much to see. So, but gradually, they built another building, and then they getting better and better. Yeah, now even they think this is the good art museum, and also the Menil Museum was finished later, and the downtown Opera House. Yeah, all after we moved here. Yes, we see lots changes, and also especially this park.
Yeah.
Usually you don't see much over the other side. Now it's all buildings.
So how does Houston compare to Chicago, most specifically with regards to an Asian American population?
Because nowadays, not just people from Taiwan, also people from mainland China. I think even more people from mainland China, and lot of them come to Houston or Dallas. So when you go to a parking lot, you can suddenly you can hear people speak Beijing dialogue. Yes, yeah. That when we were in Chicago, we don't see Chinese. All my artist friends are all Western artists, and only when we go to Chinatown we see Chinese. But those Chinese, they are overseas Chinese. They only speak Cantonese.
Oh.
You have no communication with them. Yeah. And we do have some Chinese friends. They teach at the University of China. University of Chicago, but it's the south side. We live on the north side.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not really much chance to see them.
Do you spend a lot of time in Chinatown in Houston?
No.
No.
But when we need the Chinese grocery and the Chinese dinner, we still go to Chinatown.
So, with regards to the art scene, then you said Houston has more Asian artists than Chicago.
That I do not know.
Okay.
I do not know. Here, I do not really have artist friend. Very few, because I taught at Glassell University. Glassell School, art school. The fine art museums from Fine Art Museum.
In Chicago?
No, here.
Oh.
Yeah, the Glacier.
Affiliated with
Yeah.
the Museum of Fine Art.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's part of the Museum of Fine Arts.
Okay.
She taught there. Yeah.
Yeah, I know some other teachers. Yeah, Western teachers.
Okay.
Made friends with them. But some of the Chinese artists from mainland China or Taiwan, they like to have big house, so they are not near here.
Have you ever faced any discrimination in the U.S. being an immigrant?
Well, let's try it again.
Have you ever faced any discrimination?
We were okay. Yeah, all the time we were very happy. Yeah, because all the American friends we have, they treat us very nicely. Yeah, we didn't have any trouble.
When I first came in college in North Carolina, and the black people sit in the back of the bus. The train stations has separate bathrooms.
Oh, that was when he came
Well,
here.
I came here 52, and she came 58. Yeah, and but you know this my roommate told me. He said, "You're not black. You're not white, but you're visitors. So you're." She said, "But you're definitely not black." Yeah, so that's how we feel. Yeah, you're. This is our second country. Yeah, even Houston now, we've been here the longest. Yeah. Most of in China, we've been moving around. 5 years is 8 years is the oldest number of years. Yeah, but in this country now, this is our home.
We were very lucky. Somehow all the American friends we know, they all treat us very nicely. And like every year for the Thanksgiving, we always get be invited to go to have a turkey dinner.
Yeah.
In the American friends family, we either with their parents or themselves.
Do you still celebrate any Chinese holidays while you're here?
Oh yes, yeah, all the Chinese festivals.
Did you experience any kind of culture shock when you first came to the U.S.?
Not very much, because like a Western movie, when we were in China and Taiwan, and we see more of American movies. Yeah, so the culture. We also have English class to study English, but we never meet any Western people. Very, very seldom to have Western people who you can meet over there. And so when I was really try to speak English was after I came here.
So, do you have any language barrier after you came here?
Yes,
Oh.
yeah. I even cannot figure out whether you are from Europe, the different country, or you are local people here, and it has to stay for a while. Oh, then I found out really different.
How have you been involved in Houston's Chinese or Taiwanese community? I think Catherine told us like you taught Tai Chi at the Young Center and you taught calligraphy at the Changmei Buddhist Temple.
Yes.
Could you talk a little more about those experiences?
Yes, at the Young Center, all the friends and the students I met, they are Americans. Yeah. No Chinese come to Young Center, and where was the other place you asked?
The Changmei Buddhist Temple?
The temple. At the temple, it's all Chinese.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, only couple visitors you once in a while you see they are Western people. So they are most from Taiwan because that temple originally is in Taiwan.
Oh,
This is just a branch.
okay.
Yeah.
So you were teaching at these places?
Yes, yeah, about 3 years. Okay.
Maybe how did she get started teaching Tai Chi? How?
Yeah, that's a good question. How did you get started teaching Tai Chi?
Well, when I was 40 years old, because I worked too hard. My back had trouble.
Oh.
Yeah, I hardly to move even sometime, and I went to see Western doctor. They didn't help me at all, so I started to do yoga, and still didn't feel very good until I went to Hong Kong to teach at Chinese University, and one of the teacher, he originally came from Beijing. He learned the Tai Chi when he was 10 years old. So he played very, very well himself. And then we have a few of friends ask him if he can teach us. He said, well, I will teach you to learn. I will be very glad to teach you. So one is like me, I was in the art department. Other one was in the philosophy department, and then there's a couple more in different departments. And the teacher himself, he is from mathematics department.
Oh.
Yeah. So we once a week we will study from him. And one day I asked him, I said, well, that professor from the philosophy department, I said, he is very smart because every form you taught, because it's all pretty new to me. I said, why he always can remember and I don't remember? Yeah, I said, I don't know how many times then I can really remember it. He said, don't worry. Actually, what he did is not right. Actually, you are the best one because all the form you learned from me and you did it correctly. Yeah, and if you cannot remember the form, that's okay, and you will remember it. So when I came back from Hong Kong, I finished to learn the Tai Chi from him. So one day here, actually I went back to Chicago first before I came here, because we still have our old house there. And one of my American friend told me, he said he went to China with a group of Americans. They try to learn Tai Chi from a Tai Chi master, but he teaches modern Tai Chi. He teaches modern Tai Chi. Anyway, so one of the students studied from him. Actually, she came from Houston. And when she found that I am coming to Houston, she said, I'm going to give you her name. So when I came here, I just connected her and got to know her. She's a very nice person. Then we became good friends. And one time that teacher teaches the modern Tai Chi came here to teach. So my friend Jane Shori, she's supposed to organize everything. So she also asked me, hope that I will join her, so I can meet this Chinese teacher. So I that's how I met my how I got this to know this friend, and the Chinese Tai Chi teacher. I found out that actually he studied the modern dance here.
Oh.
So he just combined the modern dance with the Tai Chi. So he called it modern Tai Chi, and try to make it different. Yeah, and that time this girlfriend, she teaches at Yung Center, but after a while her back hurt. She cannot teach. She told me she cannot teach anymore. Yeah, so then I said, okay, I will teach it, but I was still afraid. So I called my teacher. I said, what should I do? Should I tell her I can teach or not to teach? Because in China, if the teacher said you are not good, you cannot do it. But he said, it's okay, you go ahead, you can teach. So then I went there to teach. So actually, after teaching, every time I learned something new. Because you have to really concentrate to let the students know how to do it. Yeah, then I have to develop a certain teaching method. Then so that was interesting. That's why the Chinese always say 教学相长. So when you teach, you're also learning.
And keep her healthy.
Does your back still hurt, or is it well now? Your back?
It's getting better,
Oh.
but the thing is, I'm getting old. So not easy to get well. So once a week, I'll do special training to stretch my leg and also fix my back.
When you were teaching art, did you also find that you were learning while you were teaching?
Yes, I learned how to teach them. Yeah. Some artists they cannot teach the students what to do. Like my private teacher, the Master Pu, he cannot tell you what to do. He is very good himself, because his level is way high, and himself was self-taught. So you have to really figure out by yourself what to do. Yes, actually, all the time. Even you go with a good teacher, you do learn the right thing, and a good manner too. Yeah, good thinking, and but you still have to do your way. You have to think how to develop it yourself. Yeah, he cannot teach you anything. Yeah, no one can teach anyone everything. But a good teacher, he always start you something. That's very important.
Do you feel like you had more room to be creative once you were doing making art in the U.S.? like, could you get outside of the rules and the boundaries by studying art in the U.S.? And
Do you mind to repeat it?
so, as compared to making art in China,
Yeah.
do you feel like you had more freedom to be creative here?
Yes. Yeah. Definitely. Because my teacher cannot watch me. Otherwise, they just shake their head. Said, too bad.
Margaret had one of the old master's teacher from Taiwan University. And after the Northwestern, after 5 years, she had a big show. And about 30 oil paintings and 30 brush paintings. And he came and looked at the show and then came back to our house and was telling me, he said, Margaret is such a talented young artist. It's really a shame, he said, now her paintings I couldn't understand.
Oh.
Referring to her Western painting.
Yeah.
Yes, because all of a sudden she's a departure from the traditional Chinese. And
Actually, he didn't know. I wasn't really stopped the connection from the old Chinese art. It's actually always there. Yeah, you cannot say, "Oh, I'll everything by myself," because that's the background you had.
you learn from the past, and then you create new.
Yeah.
Yes, that's always.
How has it been since Mr. Chang is an architect? Have you had any artistic inspiration from him?
Yes, from lots of different area, especially for the space, because architecture always try to create the space, different way, different angle. So it's opened my eye, made my visual to see things differently.
And also there's a case. I designed a Cincinnati Contemporary Art Center, and the director came to our house and looked at the walls. She said, "Whose painting are these?" I said, "Margaret's." He said, "Those are good enough for show." Yeah, so that was her first museum show.
Was the one in where you designed?
The one I designed.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's my contribution. Because the young artists, the hardest thing is to have a museum show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and she's lucky that she was only like 30 something. Yeah,
Yeah, that was very lucky.
yeah, and she had something like a.
Not every artist have that kind a good
because the museum
opportunity.
is so big, yeah, she has to.
Brand new, besides.
So that's why she painted paintings 15 feet wide. Yeah, 15 feet to 10 feet, and in order to feel, they usually they give you a show, they give you like 10 months or something like that. Yeah, and so she really worked.
So how do you see your paintings? How do you perceive your paintings? Like, what genre do you think? Like, do you think it's like a combination between Chinese traditional and Western, or like what?
You mean to comparison?
I mean, no. I just want to ask, how do you see your own painting?
With the traditional Chinese painting?
I mean, like, what kind of like genre do you think it belongs to?
Like, do you consider your paintings Western or Eastern or a mix?
Oh, I see. Well, I still thinking it's Chinese painting. Yes, definitely, because I'm using the same ink, same brush, same kind of technique, but of course I developed further of my technique. That doesn't mean you are not Chinese artist. Yeah, of course the form changed. The form changed. I don't see any Western artist has this kind of forms.
What do you mean by form?
The composition, the style, everything.
Okay.
Everything. Because in my mind, I still use the traditional Chinese method to paint. Yeah, the Chinese philosophy that you do everything from your mind, and I think very different as Western painting. But I did study Western painting very carefully, and all the modern Western artists. Like every time when I go to New York, Washington D.C., and there's some of the Western painters I like their work very, very much. Those European artists, yes, they do make me feel I don't have to. I'm afraid of anything. I can just go ahead to paint. Yeah, yes. I had influence, big influence from them. To learn how to be yourself, how to be creative.
Okay, that's cool.
If I didn't come to United States, I'm still in Taiwan, I don't think I can develop my style that much.
So, how do you consider yourself? More Chinese or more American?
Personally, I'm Chinese. Yes, yeah. Because at home we speak Chinese. We cook Chinese food. Yeah, nothing very, very different as in China, except here, of course, we get used to everything. Yeah, when we see American, we that some are our friend or some are not our friend, but it doesn't feel strange. I think we are part of the West now. But inside we are still Chinese.
When was the last time you went back to China?
In the 80s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
When you were in Hong Kong before you came to Houston?
No, after I moved here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I went back 3 times. I went back all the way back to visit my hometown. Then also go to northern area.
Are your family still in Taiwan?
Pardon me?
Are your family still in Taiwan?
Oh, I have one sister. She lives in Taiwan. Yeah, the other sister brothers are all here.
Oh.
They are all in California.
Oh.
But very nice. In the summertime, I can stay with them.
Yeah, get out of Houston.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you have to ask?
Can you tell me about your family now with TC?
Yes.
Your family, your daughter and sons, do you have?
Well, TC came from a big family.
Mm-hmm.
They have 8 children. So 2 brothers, 3 brothers, and the rest are all girls. And in my family, I have we have 6, but 2 of us we don't have children. But all of our brothers sisters, they all have children. Yeah. And
So when we have a reunion, 40, 50 people shows up.
Wow.
So do you celebrate like Chinese New Year together with your big family? Or
well, here just two of us, so we celebrate with friends.
oh,
Yeah.
And we're going to celebrate with Catherine for the coming festival.
Yeah, the dragon.
oh, the Dragon Boat.
It's a Dragon Boat Festival.
Yeah.
How did you and Catherine meet?
Oh, after she moved here
To your
to
apartment.
this
Yeah.
building. Yes.
Right. Yeah, a friend of ours told us that. Do you realize there's a famous artist in your building? I said, really? Okay. And then, but we didn't get to. We were not introduced by a friend. We were kind of just self-introduced ourselves. One day when we were downstairs together.
Is there anything else you would like to talk about or share with us that we haven't already covered?
Yeah, Margaret is also one time was very good tennis player too.
Oh, you also play tennis.
Yeah. We won the husband and the
We
wife's,
entered
tennis
the
tournament 6
Oh.
times.
Well, yes, there are some.
this husband and wife tournament in Houston. They had more than 30 years.
50 years.
50 years.
Yeah.
50 years.
History.
And 50 years history. Yeah, and we came later. Oh, thank you. Thank
Oh,
you.
wow.
Yeah, we got lots of the plates.
Yeah.
and the cups.
Husband
And the
and
cups.
wife, actually says.
Oh, yeah,
husband
here
and wife.
said the husband, wife, the
Tennis
winner.
tournament.
And usually they will fix by age, different age. So after they call century. So two add together to have centuries 100
Yeah.
years old. Then we are over 100 years old. So we play 120, then 130. And so by that time, I getting much better and better. And those original winners, they getting worse and worse. And at the beginning, they just they don't even think they always think I'm easy to be beatable. But I just learned from experience. So later we beat him. We beat all the winners. And always, for mixed double, your opponents, they always hit the ball to the woman.
Oh.
Yeah, because they know he can get it. So they hit to me, but always the last ball, I hit back. I was the winning shot.
That's fun.
Yeah, and actually there was a secret that the other players do not know. It's easy for me. When I was standing in front of the net, one of the strokes is so easy for me to do. You know why? They will hit to me directly, give me that ball. Then I will swing the racket from the left side right to the right to the right side. Just the ball will just drop down to the other side of the net. So to win it. And you know what? For Chinese calligraphy, and that's the go
Oh.
yeah，你这样子一来
Yeah.
这样子一来 it's very easy for me.
So calligraphy made you a better
Yeah.
tennis player.
yes. Also, there's something else that made him as a good tennis player too.
Architects.
Yeah, you know what's that? The Chinese Wei Qi.
Oh.
He is a good chess player.
Oh.
Chinese chess player.
Chinese chess is.
Oh, that's like, it's
called
go.
Go.
Yeah,
Go.
okay.
Just black white
Yeah.
chips.
Yeah.
Yeah, all you need is just occupy the space. So he knows the space so well. As an architect, he studied space.
Oh.
For tennis court, he studied space. so
When you design O'Hare Field, the terminal, one terminal is 800 square feet, 800 feet long, yeah. And all connect together is like a 2,000. But when you do the plan, it's still in front of you, the sheets this size. You only say, triple the scale, yeah. So now when you design a house, you talk about room, and every inch counts. Yeah, so you're still in the same size, but how you visualize, a room size versus 2,000 feet. Yeah, that's.
So we know a little bit more than them.
All right. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Well, I think that all the I usually I just do my artwork and try to be very quiet, but as I taught in Chicago before, also after we moved here, I also taught a few places, and I think I do have a good influence for the students. So they learn the Chinese culture, Chinese art, and I think it's all good influence. Yeah. So or Chinese Tai Chi. I think that's very nice here. Like Yung Center, they offer those courses. Yeah. So people can really exposure different thing, different experience.
So that for an immigrant like Margaret,
Yes.
she can contribute to the society here,
Mm-hmm.
to the local community, because of those programs available here.
That's great.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much for
Thank you.
your time and sharing your stories with us.
Oh, thank you.